party time, and we're on Popcorn Talk.
Woo!
I'm Michael, and I'm here with Dazzling David and the amazing Abbie.
Oh. Well, I'm glad you did that after me because I couldn't have topped that.
Oh, man.
All right. So I watched Mulholland Drive.
I did as well.
Apparently, on the
I've seen
20th
it.
on the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, oddly enough,
Yeah.
that we were just clicking through movies like, oh, what should we watch this week?
Mm.
And then we're like, Mulholland Drive, and it just happened to be the 20-year anniversary.
But that wasn't all. There were a bunch of other serendipitous
What was the other
things
like
happening.
weird thing that we accidentally predicted?
Remember, and we were like, oh, we need to get a lottery ticket now.
I remember that part. I can't remember
Neither
what
can
it
I.
was.
That's why I gotta look this up real quick.
It was something for sure.
It was like someone followed us.
That's
or-
right. Oh, we can't
Yeah.
talk about it. It's something for the future.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember it was. Well,
This
no,
is-
we could talk about it.
Well, I want to remember. Hold on. I want to have a moment where I remember.
It
It
was.
Combining
We were talking
Jack
about.
Burton.
Yeah,
and Snake Plissken.
we were talking about doing
For
John
us.
Carpenter
yeah.
movies, or we were talking about John
yeah.
Carpenter movies.
Yeah, and then the next day at work, people were talking about the movie we were just talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then I kept seeing stuff on my feed about
That's
them,
right.
and it was just like, man, that's
yeah.
really weird.
But on that following thing, Psycho Goreman is following us now,
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
and
man,
we're
it's
leaning into
exciting.
it fully.
Yeah.
Fully.
That made my life.
Yeah, we want them on
I
here
can die now.
just so we could ask them their thoughts on
Dude,
the
if we-
process.
I would love to get them on the podcast and just be like, beforehand, talk to them like, all right, man, not everyone loved this movie, and we want to ask you the tough questions. Would you be fine?
Well,
answering
honestly,
this?
just to talk to them about
Like, why
the
did you
writing
write it this
process
way?
and all that sort of stuff.
and
would
like
be
call them out. Be like, hey,
Do you mean to suggest a writing process?
not even no, just to see what their thought process was. 'Cause
Yeah,
everybody
just
has their
like-
own process. They may
just wonder
again
why.
you write it, and they probably thought it was the best thing ever.
Answer the
so,
tough questions. That's what we want.
It's
But
not
in,
even
like, yeah.
tough. It's just like I I write bad shit, but
Yeah.
if I enjoy it, like I enjoy it, and I don't care what other people think. So it's like just want to know.
Yeah,
the
but
thought process behind it.
do you put like how much $500,000 towards your ideas?
If I could, I would. That's why it's like I don't hate them for what they
Yeah.
did.
If I had money, I'd have so much garbage out there.
Oh yeah,
Like,
exactly.
trash garbage everywhere.
See, I like to throw my garbage out there for free.
That's fair. I mean, I do too, but yeah. So you guys watched
Yeah,
Mulholland
did you
Drive?
Oh, yeah.
like it?
I did not.
I
No.
did like it. I
Well,
did.
I didn't watch it, but I do like it because I've seen it before.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, that's right. So I was just saying how I watched it on the 20th anniversary, which was
Mhm.
cool. It was interesting. So okay, it's so funny. The entire first half of the movie, I'm just like, I can't remember the main actress's name who had played Betty.
Betty is Naomi Watts.
Okay,
Mhm.
her. The whole time I was just like, oh, this is gonna be one of those awkward 80s, 90s movies where they don't really act very well, and it's like you're just supposed to be like the sweet new girl into town. But then when it gets to her audition scene where she's practicing with Camilla's character, she's practicing for the scene, and I'm like, wow, why is her pretending to do the scene better than her actual acting? And then it gets to her actually doing the scene for the audition, and she fucking nails it. And I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
and
that
I was
was
just like,
so
why
cringe.
isn't her acting for this audition the way she's acting for the rest of the movie? And then when I find out the whole movie is basically her having like a psychotic break and none of this happened,
Mhm.
then I realized, holy shit, this woman is a genius.
I'm just
She had
imagining.
3 levels of acting. She had not real acting, pretending to acting, and then going into an audition acting, on top of her actual just everything acting. And I was like, this woman is such a good actress. She can she can look like a bad actor.
I'm just
That's-
imagining
hard-
you
that's
like
really hard to
watching this
do.
and sweating while you're just like freaking out and like a string of like red twine going like
Yeah.
all about the acting. Like what is going on?
You know what's great? The great about your point of view is mine is David Lynch is the genius for getting that out of her, because the entire movie, everyone's like, why is he making me act this way? What is going on? I don't understand the script. That's in like the trivia. It's like nobody knew what the hell was going on.
That's actually the thing.
Interesting.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And I think it was David Lynch creating this great like 3 layers of
Absolutely.
what's going on, and just like
Oh yeah.
amazing. I love David Lynch for his. Every time you could tell it's David Lynch by the colors he uses, the shot setups, the way the actors, the music.
It was a lot of like psychological like
it was,
themes.
It was very psychological, but it was also very, very David Lynch. Like everything that makes him great was in this movie, and it's like probably his best movie.
I definitely, man, yeah. I've got so many thoughts. Like, I the whole time I was like trying to figure out. I was like, okay, maybe this is purgatory. They're dead. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe whenever they go to the scene where they're like trying to find Diane Swanson or whatever her name is, Swellington or whatever. That's a horrible last name.
Diane Swanson.
Swellington.
Diane.
It sounds like it's like a sour beef Wellington.
Diane Samsonite. That's
Samsonite.
Anyway, but when they get to
So
the
close.
chick's apartment, she's like, oh, yeah, that's my neighbor. We switched apartments. And then she was like, let me go with you guys because she sells some of my stuff. I was like, she killed her. She definitely killed her. The neighbor is guilty. That's why they switched apartments. And then they actually go into the house. And then I'm like, okay, maybe Camilla killed it. And I'm like trying to figure out who killed who, you know, the whole time. Only to, of course, find out she committed suicide. Yeah. It was just really, it was fun because even though I was wrong the entire time, I didn't mind being wrong the entire
well,
time.
that's like the good thing about mystery. Well, especially really good mysteries.
Good
Is like you want to
mysteries.
keep guessing, keep guessing. It's like, oh no, wait, that's a good twist.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good
Do
twist.
you feel like this movie is David Lynch's Tarantino movie? That's how I felt. Like the bumbling murder for hire guy, how he accidentally kills 2 extra people when he's supposed to kill one person and he has to kill 2 more because he messes it up.
Which
He messed it
Tarantino
up.
movie?
Just any. It just has very
Just like
Tarantino,
that
yeah.
vibe.
the vibe of weird characters,
The not
storylines that don't
perfect
feel like
characters.
the storylines don't feel like they go together, but they do
Mm-hmm.
in a weird sense, and just felt like Tarantino-y, the dialogue.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, I had like a weird bubble in my. Yeah,
You were Swellington in there.
yeah.
Jack
I
Swellington.
can see that. I could see that as like his. Not influenced by.
No,
but
I
like
just feel like it could be
similarities.
I don't think it was influenced at
No,
all. I
no,
just
no,
think
no.
they just happened to
Yeah.
have that same vibe to them.
Yeah.
But I felt like it'd be like if Tarantino like did a lot of drugs and like his
Mhm.
it just
Needs more feet.
yeah more feet. If I had more feet, it'd totally be Tarantino. But yeah, the bumbling murder for what the hell is that called? A guy you hired to kill
Hitman?
a hitman. There you go.
Murder for
I mean, it's
hire.
not wrong.
Murder for hire.
Technically, it's what it is.
Is
It
that
is. That was my favorite
Excuse
part.
me, Mr.
Yeah.
Salesword.
Yeah.
Would you please
Craigslist
kill
ad.
this
So
this
sorry.
aspiring actress?
Yes. Yeah, I just love that scene where he's like being friends with the guy and he just shoots him out of nowhere, and then he goes to make another bullet hole for some reason and accidentally shoots someone else, and he has to go kill her.
Oh, that's
and while
right.
he's dragging her into the room, the cleaner guy
the
sees him, so he's like,
janitor.
"Oh, help me drag this woman. She's totally sick," and you can tell the cleaner guy knows it's not. He's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
the
man,
cleaner's
I'm
like,
totally
dude, I'm
gonna
not
die."
going back there with you.
And
I'm
he's
not.
like,
It's not happening.
I'm so dead, and then he kills him, obviously. But it's just, I love that scene because it was,
Yeah.
It's like the
really funny.
goofy, professional.
yeah. Yeah, I love that actor. He's
Mhm.
always in like random things, but I liked his biker jacket. He looked really cool in my opinion.
So so even though I feel like I definitely understood a lot of the movie, I had 2 remaining questions.
Let's hear him.
One is I think less important, but I'm just curious. One, okay, so in the scene where the 2 men are at the diner, and the one guy's like, I've had this dream twice now
Mhm.
where you're standing at the cash register, you look scared, and I'm looking out the window and I see that face.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then fast forward, so it's actually Betty, who's I guess Diane. Diane, that's when she's hiring the hitman.
Mhm.
And then you look over at the cash register, and instead of I guess it was like an investigator or his partner in like in crime or whatever, or I don't know what he was.
investigator in crime,
In-
partner in crime,
Investigator crime for hire.
crime for
Murder
hire.
Right underneath the murder for hire.
Uh-huh.
That's what you'll find on the Craigslist. Anyway, so instead of the one guy being at the register, it's the dude who initially said he had the dream. What role did? Oh, okay, I understand. I just answered it in my brain. I was
Cool.
about to say,
Cool.
what role does the guy who initially was having that dream? What role does he play for Betty? Because he shows up as the guy who's in front of the register, and then I realized maybe because all of this is like the whole beginning of the movie is basically her fantasy of what would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Camilla falling in love with her. She was a successful actress, blah, 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 blah. That's her fantasy. So I guess even that's just a guy she remembers, because probably that guy could like overhear that she was hiring a hitman.
Exactly.
So
That's what it was. I think
That's why he was like in horror. Like, what are you fucking
a witness?
doing?
That's what
He was a
think
witness. And so in her fantasy, he wasn't a witness. He was the one suffering like she is now. I think that's what that represents. Also, fun fact, remember how the cowboy was like, if you do it right, you'll see me once. If you do it wrong, you'll see me twice.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's why in the dream, the guy said, I had this dream twice now. So it's her guilt for knowing she's doing
Did
something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why there's like the two thing. Anyway, my next question was, did in reality, not in her fantasy or in her psychotic dreams, but in reality, do you think that Diane and Camilla had like a fling, or do you think she just always wanted that and never got that?
I think it was a fling.
I'm trying to remember because it's been a year or so.
It does get confusing on who's who.
So
I think it may be like a. I'm trying to remember it, but like a fling, like she thought there was more of.
I think
like
that's exactly what it was.
They had a thing, but the other one didn't have the same emotional connection that she did, and she wanted more, so she played out this relationship in her head.
I think they were bros, and then they hooked up,
mm-hmm.
and then she took it for what it wasn't.
So
I thought there was more to it.
I thought that initially too, but whenever I started replaying, because after the movie ended, I was like, I gotta go back and like watch certain scenes again. After rewatching certain scenes, I could also see it being that her and Camilla never hooked up. That was always part of her fantasy. It wasn't in her deep fantasy where she like gets into the car accident, but it was just part of her like lustful and like desire for. It was like the possessiveness she had over Camilla.
You might be right.
Because there were a lot of scenes where it's like there were a lot of scenes that would lead to the belief that Camilla had no experience with her in that way, in like a sexual way. Like, for example, like all of the scenes where she's like at the dinner party and she's like, you know, really cozy up with the director because that's her man or whatever. It just like whenever she sees Camilla kiss the other actress.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously didn't happen in real life. That was
didn't?
part. No, I think that was Diane's jealousy for seeing her with the director.
But I think it did because in the fantasy at the audition when they're singing the 50 song, that's who's there, and the director's picking her. So I think that's who the third. I think it's a polyamorous relationship, and that's the third that they chose was that girl, and they didn't choose.
Oh,
Betty or
that's
Diane.
Interesting.
That's how I took that.
That's interesting.
Because they're clearly polyamorous in front of the mother too, which I thought was kind of weird. But
the mother's seen it all,
different
darling.
strokes for
it's
different
California,
folks.
man. They do whatever over there. That's how I took it. Is that she was not accepted as the third in that relationship.
I just saw it as it was just another actress who was doing better than her, and so she probably just had jealousy that this could be happening without her. I didn't think that actually happened. The kiss.
That's your interpretation.
Yeah, and there's no way to know. It's just
he
It's
won't
just
tell
David
you
Lynch.
either.
Nope,
Yep.
absolutely
He will not tell you what the hell that movie's about.
I love that Schmittens just crop dusted us. She literally blew a giant fart at me.
Before we continue, Schmittens is Michael's cat.
That's her signature move.
Blew a giant fart directly at me as she was leaping off the couch and then deuced out.
Yep.
Well, hopefully not deuced.
It wasn't far from
But
it.
so I'm gonna assume Abbie, you liked it.
I liked it, yeah.
Michael, you've seen. I know you liked it. I'm not even gonna ask. But you've seen Under the Silver Lake, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this one's like another mystery in the same kind of vein.
Mm-hmm.
It's not written and directed by David Lynch, but it's
got it's
got Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield,
yeah,
very
he's the
good.
lead.
Yeah.
It was super awesome. Just like one mystery right after the other, after the other.
I suggest it.
Yeah,
Abbie.
based in LA too.
Yep.
Definitely recommend. I think it's on Amazon.
For Prime. It's
Yeah.
on Prime. Yeah.
But it's super good. It's another one of those mysteries, and it just
I
gets
love mystery.
more and more bonkers.
Yeah.
Not even this one's not a mind fuck one.
No, it's just
so
weird. Yeah,
It's
it
just
gets
bonkers.
weirder,
Yeah.
weirder, and until you're in a cult living in a mountain. That's how weird it gets.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and there's the king of the hobos that you
all I
meet.
need is a
Oh,
mountain
yeah.
then.
Who's my favorite character
Yeah, I
from
love the
that
King of the
movie. But yeah, that
Hobos.
was I think I watched that movie like 6 months ago or something. It was super good.
Yeah, I watched it when
What's
it
it
first
called?
came out.
Under the Silver Lake.
Under the Silver Lake.
Silver Lake is
That place.
a neighborhood in LA.
That's
I
where they went in
remember.
Last Starfighter.
Yep.
I remember, yeah.
The retention pond, right? Is that what it was?
The what?
The retention pond.
Yeah, it's a reservoir.
Reservoir. Oh, okay.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that's yeah. And we're going to the Silver Lake. Okay,
Yeah.
you go walk.
Another movie that me and David both
oh,
watched.
it's actually on Hulu.
Oh, it's
Just
on
looked it
Hulu?
up, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Oh.
Another movie me and David both watched was the Tomorrow War,
Oh my god,
starring
yeah.
our favorite actor ever, Chris Pratt.
It's
Dear God. Okay. My brother told me he's never watching another movie again after watching this. That's much of a bad impact it had on him.
That's pretty. That's like a deep wound
the action.
that you would
is.
have to suffer.
He was very offended by this movie.
The action was kind of cool. It was just.
Too long. I didn't care at all at any
It
point. in
should
this
have
movie.
ended when he got teleported back,
Exactly, and they just kept going.
and it
They
went
just-
on for another 45
Yes,
minutes.
and I was just like, why didn't it end?
You could have done a second movie with that.
I will also say I watched this at like midnight on a day I had to go to work, so I
I
was
watched-
extra mad that it was.
I
working
watched this at
that
like
long.
9 p.m. on a regular day. Like, it's had so many like weird cuts, especially at the beginning, like when he's on the phone
Mhm.
and he finds out he didn't get the job. It's like he's in the middle of the street and there's like 4 or 5 jump cuts,
Mhm.
but there's not a passage of time. There's not any additional dialogue. Just like jumping from each different angle
Mhm.
where it breaks the 30-30 rule.
Mhm.
What's that?
You either move the camera 30 degrees or change it by 30
Mhm.
millimeters. And so it's basically off, like more or less like to the right, and then like right in front of them, and then back to that same. It was just really weird and just like very obvious that they did it. And I think they were trying to show like he was sitting there for a long time, but it's like you could have just had him be quiet, and just holding the camera on him would have done so much more
So much
for
more.
it.
And
Yeah.
if they would have just muffled out all noise and just had a zoom in, or not a zoom,
Yeah,
but
just
like
a
shot of
basic
him.
camera trick.
Yep.
Instead of doing a jump cut like that. But then also, when he walks out, he's in multiple places in the street.
Mhm.
Like it first shows him walk all the way to the
Oh,
car, and then
no.
it cuts, and he's right next to the trash can on the
Oh,
other side of the street.
no.
And so it's like,
Maybe
was
they
just-
maybe they hated the editor and they just really wanted to make the editor do a lot of work.
I think he's the one that like kind of did more to that movie.
That scene killed the movie for me because he's a teacher, and what is she, like a speech therapist or something?
No, I think she's so she works at the VA, the
Right.
Veterans Affairs. So
That's right.
She's a therapist.
How the hell do they afford that house and brand new cars? That's my biggest question on those 2 salaries.
Well, that was actually so. I mean, it's because
And a kid.
Crippling debt.
Yeah.
where it's filmed, it was filmed mostly on an Air Force base in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And
Is that
so
what
that's on post housing,
So,
Oh.
but it's
he's
not
in
supposed
there.
to be.
Yeah, but he's
That was-
not in the military anymore.
I told
so
you I'd
what-
explain that. So
Yeah. Okay. Get to it.
for those that don't know, I'm a
I'm
veteran.
one of
spent
them.
spent
Oh.
9 years in the Army, and so he explains as exposition, like, oh yeah, I did this in the Army. No, I wasn't a career guy. But when it shows, and he explains what his rank is, but there's a shadow box behind him that has all of his awards,
Mhm.
and there's a rank on it. And it's a first sergeant rank, which is 8th grade, basically.
Mhm.
Like it's the 8th level. You don't get that quick at all. Like you need at least 7 years in for one,
Mhm.
even to get the rank below that. Actually, I think I'm trying to remember the rank system or like the time in service that you need and all that. But either way, he had to do more than 10 years.
Mhm.
And so when he says that line, like, oh yeah, I just did 2 tours and got out. Like it's not a career sort of thing. Like he played it off like he got deployed all the time and like he was only in for 3 years.
Mhm.
Like he only did 1 contract. Which, given his special forces past, yes, I could see you getting the 2 deployments, but they use it as exposition to show that he had military background, but it wasn't a big thing in his life. But then
Mhm.
it turned into the movie into a big thing about his characters that he
Mhm.
was in the military. It's like, just give him a career
Yeah.
as a military, and he got out
Yeah.
and he became a teacher.
Right.
What rank were you?
Sergeant.
Okay. Just normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
I don't
The
know.
No, when I was getting out, they tried to bribe me with another rank. It's like,
Oh.
no, I just don't want to. I nothing else to offer. I didn't need the rank, so.
I don't know jack shit about ranks. I know there's private.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Now,
only
well,
one-
now you know there's
the
sergeant,
only one
first
that
sergeant.
matters.
But either way, he's a high echelon, and the way he said that line is like he was only in for 3 years.
Yeah.
Was his father in the military too? Because he
Yeah,
was,
he was the Vietnam
okay.
veteran.
What rank was he? Did they say that?
I
Was
don't
it
think
on his
they said
airplane
it.
or something?
Maybe those were his medals, his father's
he's
medals.
Well,
Still,
that's
that's
what I
why they
thought
hate
too.
each
But
other.
then later he says he was a first sergeant in.
Oh.
Well,
So
that's another thing. So he says he's a squad leader. You are not a squad leader and a first sergeant. There's also no first sergeants in special forces.
that
so
sounds good though.
It seems like
exactly, that's
It
all it was.
sounds
It's
good.
people that use the military as exposition,
Oh.
but they don't understand it.
That's
Even though this
awkward.
military advisor on this movie has done a lot of great war movies.
So
you
kind
should
of like
email him an angry letter. Be like,
Yeah.
you
kind of
son
like
of a bitch.
with
Sorry.
Space Jam, how they talked about apparently a glitch will erase your character that you built in your video game. Like that's not how it
Yeah.
works.
it's using something that people don't understand
Mm-hmm.
or that only certain people understand. and
Right.
then-
It's niche, so it sounds good to the masses.
yeah.
Sorry, jump back to Space Jam and the glitch real quick. I love how it's the guy who doesn't know what the hell he's doing glitches the game by doing something he would do in real life, but tries to do it in the game and it messes up the game.
Oh yeah, like an everyday sort of move.
Yeah, just like, why isn't this in the game, kid? You dumbass. Put it in the game. You watch me grow up, watch me playing basketball. How you're not going to put my moves in here?
Well, it wasn't there. It just glitched it.
That was the
Yeah.
that was deep symbolism for how he struggled to
To
be
be
connected with his dad
because he didn't.
because he didn't
know how
want
to
to
do it.
follow in his footsteps.
But I feel like his kid should have put it in there.
he did
Well, it
put
was.
it in there.
But it
That's
was
what,
a glitch.
Well, no, it glitched. It wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to glitch. It was just
It was
supposed to
just
be
a
a
bad
move that
QA.
worked.
Oh, okay. I thought it glitched because he didn't do it properly.
No. It just glitched.
That's how
Yeah.
much I paid attention to the movie. Just saying.
Anyway,
back to
yeah,
Chris
to-
Pratt's
yeah.
amazing ranking of first sergeant.
But it was just like they just loosely used military experience as a plot device,
Mm-hmm.
And then they
and they could have done it so much better, and they could have not mentioned or just done like a one-off line instead of saying he did 2 tours and all this because
Mhm.
he used it when he's talking about his
Mhm.
resume,
Mm.
and then they could have just mentioned something along that, like when he was at base one time or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then had that shadow box in the background. Like, don't be so in your face that he was in
Right.
the military,
right.
or have it like kind of in the background so you could notice it, but he doesn't say anything about it
Right.
until he's like, "Oh, how do you know so much about guns?" Like, "Oh, I was in the military."
You know what?
Right.
That's even weirder because the whole point of getting the job was that he had military experience, and it just seemed like he was in the military a long time to get this job.
But he said the line like
Yeah.
he was barely in the military.
Yeah, so now my mind's blowing because this movie makes no sense even more than it
Mhm.
already did.
Mm.
But if this happened to you and you were like forced to enlist,
Mm-hmm.
which character would you follow? I would 100% follow the black dude who's been there 40 times and just goes in and kill
Yeah.
people. That's the guy I would follow, not Chris Pratt at all.
Well, oh man, I'm not even gonna get into like the tactical aspect of this movie because there's so many things that just frustrated me.
Did any part make you laugh? Because there's one scene that made me laugh really hard.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, so when they're
I mean, I'm sure there is. I just can't think of it right now.
so when they did the extra continuation of the movie and they're at the high school and they're talking about volcanoes, and he's
Oh my
like,
God.
"Do you want me to explain that?" And the other guy's like, "Fuck no."
No,
I
that part
laughed
was
so
funny when-
hard
when they're talking about.
Yeah, I laughed so hard at that one scene. I was like,
that-
okay,
That part was pretty. That was an entertaining scene.
yeah.
But
That-
it was like everything in that movie was too set up.
Yep. You shouldn't watch it, Abby. Don't watch it. It sucks.
Yeah, I don't plan to.
Like, and if
The name alone makes me not want to watch it.
The Tomorrow
there's so many,
War.
oh man, just so many plot points. Like it's just one giant plot hole. Because
Mhm.
if they killed the alpha or the queen at the beginning, then there wouldn't be a war in the future. And why are they sending people forward to go die when they could send people back to get ready?
Because the time machine's janky and only held by bolts and
Because-
Then you
screws.
could have sent the
because-
scientists that made it back.
But you
1
could
million
because we've already got the data. If you go back, you fuck up the future. We have a whole franchise on this.
What franchise?
Back to the Future.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Marvel.
No, but it's just. But what they explain that, but then anything that they would have done in the past would affect the future, but nothing affects the future.
Oh, I see.
Like when they kill the queen in the past, it doesn't. The war still happens. Everything still happens. So that's why, like, I've seen people saying that it's two universes, like multi dimensions, and so one affects the other. Like, basically, there's a past dimension, the future dimension. What they do in the past doesn't affect the future. So killing the queen would prevent that universe from having the war.
Now that sounds like a
That is lazy writing.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a cover up if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, it's like
or a scapegoat if I've ever heard one.
That's why it's like
it's
pick one thing to go about.
Yeah, it's like sad that the bad scripts get the most talk. Actually, a lot of people are like, "Oh, the writing of this movie is so good. The story is so good."
No,
and I'm just like, "What crack are these people smoking? This sucks. This really sucks. I want my life back."
But going to other time stuff and universe, do you guys watch Loki?
Of course.
You see the finale?
Hell yeah, I did. You should watch it, Abbie.
I need to watch it.
It's like so not Marvel. It's the Marvel that I love. It's not the stuff that I hate, like the real world, like I was talking about.
Yeah, this
with
one
Black
just
Widow.
it's super fantastical.
It's weird. I love it. It's weird. It makes no sense.
But in a good way.
It's very the game Control. That's what this universe reminds me of. The TVA. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
I also just love Owen Wilson in it.
Oh, and I can't
I love him as Mobius.
Yes, I can't even speak about how much I like that.
So, what other shows you guys watching? I've been binging Sopranos just so I could watch The Many Saints in Newark, which is that prequel that's coming out. That's played. The kid who plays Tony Soprano is Gandolfini's son. So I was like, well, I got to see it now. It's on HBO Max. Super bingeable.
It's very bingeable. I wasn't even into it, but it just was on when I was hanging out with some friends, and I'm just like, damn it, I got sucked into it, just because it was on in the background. And it's like we would be talking, I would just be like turning my neck to start watching the show, and I'm like, damn, this is it. Like, I want to know.
I remember like growing up, my dad used to watch it a whole bunch, and so I'd see like snippets of it because super young, so it was like, inappropriate for me to watch.
Sure.
But like now,
it's inappropriate for me to watch, and I'm a grown adult.
Yeah. I forgot like how graphic it
it's
is,
very...
and like especially like the nudity because I work in a strip club.
Oh,
yeah.
But
I'm just not into mob.
I forgot about the nudity. I was just thinking about the cold-blooded murder, cleaning their blood off the tile floors.
Yeah.
So it just sounds like most HBO shows from the
It's
90s.
very HBO period,
Mhm,
but
super
it is
early
it
HBO.
also is just compelling because you start getting invested in like the
Oz.
characters and the drama.
I never watched Oz.
Oh, Oz is,
I never watched
Oz
Oz
is
either.
awesome.
Is that another J.K.
HBO.
Simmons?
Huh? Yep.
Isn't he the lead in that?
He's a white supremacist rapist.
Who?
J.K. Simmons.
Awesome.
Who's that?
Yeah, it's like you connect with these
he
guys,
plays,
even though they're pieces of shit. You're like, oh, I love that guy. Oh, they killed him off, you bastards.
Spoiler.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
right.
That's a different show.
I don't know if J.K. Simmons died.
J.K. Simmons is the reporter in Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jameson.
Whiplash. You ever see Whiplash?
No.
He's got the voice. He's the State Farm guy.
Is it State Farm or is it Farmers Insurance?
Farmers. Yeah, Farmers Insurance.
Let me just look this picture.
God damn!
up. What's the name?
Why do they
J.K.
both
Simmons.
have farm in their name for companies? Come on.
Also, in Tomorrow War, he was
Oh, that guy.
jacked.
Yeah, he was super for no reason because he's barely.
But he was
seen.
also supposed to be jacked in Spider-Man. Wasn't he in like Spider-Man 1? Like the new iteration of it, I think?
I'm not sure. I know he's supposed to be like Alex Jones.
Because the second... What?
That's his. He's a podcaster. Like
In Spider-Man?
yeah,
In the new ones?
yeah.
But the second picture of Joe Jonah Jameson, is J.K. Simmons, is just him, just shredded like cheddar.
Yep.
Wow.
I remember seeing those like a year
like
ago.
cheddar.
And he's like, "Oh, this is just for a film role," because they thought he was gonna be jacked
Yeah.
for Spider-Man,
Yeah, that's what I thought it was for,
but
too.
it was for this.
Oh,
Rip.
was it?
Yeah, I think it was for this. Yeah.
So he
Rip.
started training like 4 years, like early?
Yep. Well, I think this movie 2 years ago was shot. Maybe. I know it wasn't recently.
I think it was like early pandemic is when they started filming it. No, probably.
it had to be pre-pandemic,
So then,
and it's been
well,
on
'cause
the.
I
I think
remember
it's been
like
on the shelf for a while.
that would make sense. Maybe they just weren't releasing it until
Mhm.
later. But then,
More editing time.
or not even that, it may not have been sold until later.
Maybe that's when they put all the jump cuts in. They had so much time to edit. They were like, let's just
Let's try this.
That's right.
razzle dazzle it
I
up
don't
a
know if
little.
this is an Amazon production. I know they
No,
distribute
Amazon
it.
bought it.
Oh, well, I mean, they didn't.
Yeah, they
They
distribute
didn't
it.
produce it or anything. But
No.
that's what I was thinking.
I think they just picked it up.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching anything else. Pretty much just watch YouTube.
Yeah, for editing, I watch, like, on the side. For work, I'll watch The Sopranos or Gundam Wing. Again, for like the fourth time.
I think I told you about this last time. I just finished watching The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yep.
Highly recommend. Because the new season was supposed to be I thought it was supposed to be coming out in
third?
August.
Third
But
season or fourth?
Fourth season.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be coming out in August. I guess maybe they pushed that back because of the pandemic. So now it's coming out in December, which is depressing because that's months away.
I mean,
I'm
5
excited
months?
to watch Titans. Have you ever watched that show? It's on
Nope.
HBO Max. It's actually good.
Isn't a new season coming out?
Yep, August, season 3. It's actually, it's not. It is a superhero show, but it's more than that. They actually have There's one episode, about 2 of the characters. I don't want to give it away, but if you ever watch it, it's actually very well done, and it's like this episode has no business being a superhero show because it's just like so good. Because basically, one of the characters gets molested, and the partner goes and kills the guy who molested him as a kid.
Oh, damn.
Like his girlfriend goes and hunts him
Mhm.
down, and they kind of like have a huge bonding moment because she murdered his molester.
Yeah.
But
Sounds like a DC.
yeah, it's super DC. That's why I love DC more
Super
than
dark.
Marvel because it's dark as shit. Like Marvel is more about science, where DC's all about I got beat
Revenge.
as a kid. So yeah, revenge.
Well, did you ever watch?
Revenge dark.
Did you ever watch Gotham? when it was
I've
out?
watched the first season way back when it first.
I think I
came out.
watched like the first 2 seasons overall,
Yeah.
like throughout the time that's been out.
I
Did you
just
ever
didn't
see
like
it?
the characters. I couldn't.
It
Do
was interesting.
hmm
I think it could have done better on a different network.
Yeah,
That's a shame.
That's the problem. Those Fox UPN. I don't know who makes them, but
I think like if it came on like TNT, it could have done better. Like if it was like staying on broadcast or like cable, it could have done better as TNT. Obviously, if it was on like HBO or something where they didn't have to like worry about rating and all that.
Yeah.
there is a whack ass Daniel Radcliffe show coming out on TNT that no one's gonna watch.
Is
'cause
this the one
nobody
where he's
has
the
it.
priest?
Yeah, where he's the priest
Oh
in like
yeah, I
the
saw that. And I was like,
pilgrimage, and it just looks so weird.
I agree, and I can't tell if it's gonna be a good weird like Swiss Army Man,
Oh,
or if it's gonna be a cringy weird
cringe,
like. "Ee, why are
cringe
you
for
doing this?"
sure.
I just love that Daniel Radcliffe is known for being Harry Potter, but then after that, he just does whatever the hell he
Does
wants.
I love it.
whatever he wants.
Like, so many like artistic movies,
Yeah.
or just
Bad.
weird bad movies.
Well, because it's like I think it's the same. I read an interview or something with Emma Watson where she didn't even know she was filthy rich until
Yeah.
until I think they stopped filming,
Mhm.
and then her parents told her like, we've been keeping all this money in account for you. We never
Well, yeah.
told you. So it's basically, but she was like, oh shit, okay, I'm like super rich. And they did Harry Potter for so many years. She never really had to audition.
What was their
That was but
childhood and
it's just-
teenage years? and
it's
all
just the
that.
fact that she was, even though she was a sensational star, she was moving into New York, doing auditions for the first time in her 20s. She felt so out of place. And so I think it's probably a similar situation for Daniel Radcliffe, who was kind of like, it's totally backwards. Like they've already got the security. Now they're just kind of
Yeah.
stepping into the fun creative part where
like our
they're
Pat.
experimenting.
Our Pat's doing the same thing.
Yeah, except he's
Mm.
actually a good actor.
Yeah, he's great. I love him in everything.
He,
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, yeah.
I still need to watch.
I'm surprised because usually dudes hate Robert Pattinson.
I
I
love-
fucking love
him.
Robert
Every-
Pattinson.
That's the
Like,
only
it's-
Harry Potter movie I watched
it's
was
just
the one with
because-
him in it.
Everybody hates him because of Twilight, but like you watch a lot of his other movies, like
Yeah.
they're like top. I mean,
Every
obviously
movie
like
after
Tenet,
Twilight,
Lighthouse, just recently.
Cosmopolis.
um,
Yeah, he's got so many
What
good
Good
ones.
Time?
Good Time, great.
It's so many good movies that he does, and a lot of them are like kind of under the radar.
Mhm, for sure.
And Batman coming out could
Yeah.
be good. It's gonna be good.
I'm going to see it regardless.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
I've seen it just because he's in it.
Yeah,
honestly.
literally, that's the only. I just want to see how he plays Batman.
Mhm.
I do too. I'm
I
curious.
just want to see his face. That pretty little face.
I
That
think
pretty
that's
little face.
I think that's where
He was in a movie that I watched. I'm sorry for
No, it's fine.
interrupting. Last week, I watched a show or a movie on Amazon called The Lost City of Z.
Oh yeah, with the Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Robert Pattinson's in it.
Small bit role.
Yeah.
He like dies or something, right?
Well, no, he just doesn't go on to the like last
Oh,
expedition.
okay.
And Tom Holland's in it too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he
It's a
plays Charlie
weird
Hunnam's
little
son.
movie that.
Well, it's based
don't
on a real story.
Mhm.
It's about this explorer goes to the Amazons to. I think at first it was like just to explore,
Mhm.
but then it was like he figured out, or like through research thought that there was another bigger city in the Amazon,
I see.
and then decades later, this took place World War One, like around that time,
Mhm.
because he was a lieutenant.
Yeah.
Or he was an officer in the British Army. World War One happens, and then eventually he goes back in like the 40s, I think, or 30s.
I don't remember the movie.
Either way, he goes back and
He only did 2 little tours, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah,
We need more Charlie Hunnam movies too. Where's that guy?
Who's that?
He's Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
That
let's deep dive into
Undeclared-
things that you
Undeclared.
wouldn't know.
When he's a little baby and he's got a little nothing on his face. He
Green
looks-
Street Hooligans.
he-
He was just in The Gentleman.
Oh, you know him if you saw him.
Yeah, it's
I know,
one of
I'm
those
already looking
faces.
up
I'm thinking of the kaiju movie. What Pacific Rim? He's in that.
King Arthur.
I don't know
King
who
Arthur
that is.
too?
Yeah,
And
I don't even
Crimson
know who
Peak.
that is.
Amazing
Uh,
Crimson Peak, but he's just very charming, and I feel like he could be better in more.
You know,
things.
in so Green Street Hooligans,
Mhm.
people like ragged on him for having a bad accent.
Mhm.
He is British.
Yes.
It just he couldn't do that city's accent.
Oh, that specific dialect.
Yeah, he's from a different part of. I
Right.
can't remember exactly where he's from in England, but he couldn't do that dialect, and so
Couldn't do that
everybody
specific.
was calling him out for like doing a bad British accent. He's like, "No, I just can't do that dialect." It's like
Yeah.
trying to like fake a Southern accent here or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like a Boston accent. Like it's
Right,
such a
exactly. It's a
specific
very
accent.
niche. Yeah.
But yeah, he was also in The Gentleman, which is directed by Guy Ritchie. And the reason he got that role, or one big reason why he got that role, is because when they were working on King Arthur. Oh my God, he's so tiny. Oh, is that what's his name? The other actor who's
Jake
in
something. That's the same guy, but his first
Jay
role-
Braun. Jay
Yeah.
Brom. Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays How to Train Your Dragon. And
Yeah.
Are they supposed to play brothers in that?
No, they're just college students, but he
Oh, 'cause
looks like
they-
a little baby,
Yeah.
and he's British, and he's like
He
this
does look a little
heartthrob.
baby.
And then he goes in the Sons of Anarchy, where he's this biker.
Still a heartthrob though.
Yeah. It's
But yeah,
just-
so he got the role in The Gentleman through King Arthur when him and Guy Ritchie were doing that.
Mhm.
Guy Ritchie would ask him about the weed industry and what he like, basically interviewing him for the role to see what he knew about
Mhm.
the weed industry in California and all that sort of stuff, so he could see if Charlie could play that role properly.
Yeah, King Arthur. I love that movie. No one else did, but I was reading interviews with Charlie Hunnam about how he moved into his flat or whatever in London, and like every other week someone tries to break into his house, and then he has
Cool.
to scare them off. So that's really funny to me. I'm sure no one else
That'd be a
cares.
terrible life to live.
Yeah. It's not Schmittenstein this time. It's Abbie.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a time.
What reminded you of the dying? Or?
Yeah, the dying in the specifically. I just went into a different room to go hack out a lung. Anyway, it reminds me
As
though,
you do.
as you do. One time, I was a server at a restaurant, and the way the restaurant was shaped, because it was downtown, so all the buildings are smushed together, so it's kind of like a shotgun style. Anyway, so the booths are in the main area, and then if you just go around a half of a wall, you get into like the prep area. So anyone could hear you if you're back there. You're literally just around a half of a wall.
Mhm.
I was sick at the time. I was getting over something. I wasn't contagious, but I was getting over something. And so I was like serving my table, and I could feel the tickling happening. I was like, oh, fuck, I have to
You're like,
cough.
you don't want to say anything. Just like,
Well, and like, I don't want to cough on the table.
yeah.
So finally, I'm just like, I have to just, like, I'm starting to like do the, like the coughing inside of the throat. And so I'm like, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And I go around the wall because there's nowhere else to go. And I'm coughing out. It's like so loud. It's it's painful. It's like that weird, like throaty sound where it's like rattling my, yeah. It's like
You're like in some metal band.
And anyway, so finally, this goes on for the longest time too. Like I think I had just gotten over bronchitis or something. So it's like literally like a 2-minute like fit where I'm back there and people are checking on me. I sound like I'm dying. Finally, though, I get myself together and I come back to the table and I'm like, oh, sorry about that. And they were just, they were like horrified. And they were just like, you're good. It was.
Can we get another
Can we
server,
get-
please?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't remember if they tipped. They
I'm
probably
allergic
didn't.
to everything on this menu. We got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think they might have left. I'm not gonna lie, and I didn't blame them. It was really embarrassing.
Yeah, we all know they don't let you take days off in the service industry.
No.
Work no matter what.
You got to
You
get
could
it
be
covered.
Fucking dying.
And nobody wants to cover it.
Yeah.
Which is really ridiculous because I was definitely the only one who worked in that building. Everybody else was just high and drunk, literally drinking while working, and I'm just like, what?
That's the service industry.
Yeah, but I'm like, I was like, 17 or 18 or something, so I'm like,
Busting
I gotta,
your ass. Like,
yeah, I'm
doing
like
this.
busting
Like
my ass,
working.
doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm working. Finally, though, I remember the day that I quit, and I remember I was just like laying in bed, and I was like, I do not want to fucking go to work, and so I just called him. I'm like, Justin, I'm quitting, and he got so mad at me. He got so fucking mad at me. And he was just like, after everything I've done for you, this is what he did for me. I started out as a menu girl outside trying to get people to come in the restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started serving in the restaurant. That's what he did for me.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah, like
Anyway.
jumping ladders to get there.
That's funny because when I quit, no one cared.
Oh, you
That's-
work here?
That's
yeah,
nice,
they're
you
just
know.
like, all right, see ya.
Yeah, I attract people who love to make me feel like shit. So, no, that's a joke. But yeah, he was real toxic. I don't know why he cared because he was also always drunk and high working. So
Probably because you're the only one working.
I was the only
Yeah.
one working. That's exactly right.
The only one he could rely on to like actually like
yeah.
one, be sober,
Mhm.
and two, like go to their table and check on the table like
Right.
in the appropriate amount of time.
For some reason, I'm thinking this is Olive Garden. I don't know why. I'm just seeing you in the Olive Garden outfit.
Oh man,
I'm thinking
no.
like the inside's like wood.
Yeah, I can see wood.
Kind
I
of. It was
smell
it was a Greek
Like-
restaurant.
Oh,
Oh.
It was,
I thinking,
actually
like,
fucking delicious.
was
And they
thinking, like-
roasted the chickens on the spit in front of the window. And like whenever it would be cooking all day, the chicken would start falling off the spit. And like everybody in the restaurant, like
Is
all
that
of us
good?
being so hungry. Oh, it was
says
so
the
good.
vegan.
It was so good. They were so juicy and flavorful. But we would all like whenever we'd start to see one falling, everyone would be like, "Oh, like that's about to be family meal right there. We're about to
Mhm.
devour it."
I was thinking it was like a hearty food,
Yeah.
like garlic bread was something they served there.
Greek potatoes?
When I
It's
worked
not
at
garlic bread.
No,
Papa
it's not
John's,
garlic bread.
they would have the pepperoni peppers sit there all day. So those pepperoni peppers aren't
Eating
fresh.
those like chips.
Oh no, they're gross and have been sitting there for
Oh,
all day, and they
Yeah.
still put them on people's pizzas.
ew.
And I still devour them
That's so gross. Like, oh
because I'm a trash.
yeah, you're
A
a,
trash.
you're a goddamn possum, a trash possum.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm rare for North America.
There's possums everywhere. Oh, possums.
no, I think-
God damn it!
I
I hate that. There's
What,
possums and opossums.
No, opossums are just, I thought, the scientific name for possums.
think
No,
so.
there's. I
I
think
don't
they're
know.
different. I think the possum is a different being than an opossum.
I thought they were only like native to like North America.
Opossums?
Yeah.
Opossums
it's like,
are
no,
around
it's the
this
only
neighborhood.
marsupial.
I see them all around.
in
Yeah.
North
but you just
America.
mean they're like possums / opossums, whatever they may be. You're saying they only exist in the
I
North
thought so.
America.
Could be wrong.
I think possums are in like Australia and opossums. are
Yeah, I think
here.
that's what it is. It's something like that. Or it's like the only marsupial.
Yeah, we have that's
in
the only
North America.
marsupial in North America is
Maybe
the
that's what I'm
possum.
thinking of. Is the
Yeah.
only marsupial that we have, or that's native.
Proud of it too.
I just
yeah.
I love any meme with those
I was
little
gonna say it's
guys
just a
in them.
meme thing
Yeah,
now.
because they're like trash. Yum, 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 yum.
That they're the new possums are the new raccoons.
There's Possum Park, which is an all vegan food truck place here, and then there's Possum Pizza, which is a vegan pizza place that does trash pizza, like macaroni and hamburger pizzas. If you want that,
I do.
yep, they got them and they're good. They're like the best vegan.
But
pizza
I'm just
place.
imagining like a pizza with just a full burger on it, like bun and everything, like not
Pickles.
chopped up or anything.
Yeah, just the
And then on top of that is mac and cheese.
What
like
was
it's-
that? Do you guys remember that YouTube channel like back when people
epic
becoming
mealtime.
Epic
Already knew
Mealtime?
you were
Was
gonna
it?
say it,
Was
yep.
it?
yep.
Oh man, I haven't watched that in so
Where they like the
long.
bacon strips and all
But
that.
like at first it was like, let's just see if we can do this. And then of course it started getting disgusting. Like let's do literally 5 cheeseburgers on top of
Well, they
10
did the
pizzas.
like McDonald's lasagna.
yeah,
and,
things like that.
like the $10,000 or 10,000 calorie meal and all that.
Let's do it. Food challenge.
Well, then they got they kept on getting so much bigger,
Yeah,
and then I kind of fell off from watching them just
I
because
did
it was
too.
like
It started becoming too.
too much or just not as fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, because they'd already
more-
done everything and they were
Yeah.
having heart attacks probably.
Yeah.
Like,
I once ate 50 chicken McNuggets in one sitting and
Oh my
felt like I was going to die
oh man.
because they
that
had
was
like
like a Tuesday for me.
it was like a Memorial Day special and it was like the 50 nugget box, and I literally ate 50 nuggets in like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I felt like I had 911 dialed on my phone because I felt like I was gonna die.
Oh wow, that's hilarious. I always get every time I go to Sonic, I just get the family pack of the cheese sticks. It's like 30 cheese sticks in a box, and I'm just like, that's me.
I haven't had Sonic in so long. I had the drink that I love is the ocean water.
I haven't been to Sonic in like
disgusting.
15 years.
When I first tried it, I thought it was gonna be like salty. Somebody
Yeah.
ordered it for me and like, oh, good, like whatever. Like from California, I know what salt water tastes like. It's not good.
Yeah.
But it's like a
Sounds like
a blue.
Kool-Aid,
Crush.
like
It's something. It's like
Powerade
blue and like
taste.
coconut
That's what I
flavor. It's
imagine
pretty
tastes like.
good. It's like blue Sprite with coconut.
Mm.
I think is what it is. Pretty good.
yeah. I
Alright.
don't really eat at any fast food places, any chain places.
Yeah, I
I try
understand.
and eat local. No, I eat trash food, just
Mm.
not there.
Just just not
Yeah.
major company.
Not
Yeah, you gotta go-
corporate
the
trash.
small little guys need my trash money.
I'll destroy some P. Terry's, Patrick Terrell's.
Patrick
I go to town
Terrell's.
on those.
Okay, so this is an Austin thing. So P. Terry's is like a burger place. I discovered that you can ask for the fries extra crispy.
Mhm.
I did not know that. I tried it, and it wasn't extra crispy. It just been sitting in the oil
Just
longer,
more cooked.
so it was just gross.
Or like sat there long. Yeah.
it was just extra saturated. It wasn't crispy at all. It was just soggy and brown, like the oil was
I don't
bad.
think their fries are amazing.
I
They're
do.
all right.
I love their fries when they're like
They're not the
fresh.
best.
Who's got the best fries?
Like outside of chains.
Period.
Period.
Five Guys,
No, I think
I
those
don't
are
like
too
their
greasy.
fries.
Checkers. I love
Checkers.
Checkers.
Checkers
Do you-
fries go
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if they have. So south of a certain point, it's called Checkers.
Rallies.
North
North,
is Rallies.
it's Rallies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like just the seasoned fries.
Yeah, all those fries are so good.
So those are top tier for me, like S tier.
Yeah. S tier.
S
plus.
tier, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
other like big fast food, I think McDonald's.
I like Burger King more.
I don't dislike
And
them. I just think,
Arby's. Those
If-
curly fries.
Oh, the curly fries are good.
I
See,
think
if
Burger King just tastes airy.
Mm.
airy. That's how I feel about McDonald's. It's like starchy.
Too salty for me.
Oh, I love salt.
It's like
Just want to bloat.
See, whenever I used to eat Burger King a lot, I would just get the onion rings and dip them in that zesty sauce.
mm,
Ooh, that was my jam.
The Burger King, they used to have the sourdough bacon burger.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they
Baconator.
discontinued it.
Baconator.
Oh.
But
That's
now I
what
just
it
go
was.
to,
So
if I want
gross.
something like that, it's just Whataburger's patty melt.
Them
I
who
fucking
haven't
hate
ate have good
Whataburger.
fries too. I'm not gonna mention them on the podcast.
Whenever I was growing up, I
They
don't-
serve chicken. That's all I'm gonna say. But they have really good fries.
The
It's all
waffle
exclusively
fries?
chicken.
Is it Popeyes?
The waffle fries.
the waffle fries.
It's not Popeyes. 'Cause They don't
No,
have waffle
it's-
fries. They have top tiered fries too, though.
It's the other. It's the Jesus.
Chick-fil-A. It's
Jesus
Chick-fil-A. They've got
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. They got delicious fries.
I
And
don't think they're that.
you know
great.
what's funny? Whenever I
They're
first,
sponge. Their fries are sponges.
they're a little spongy. That's true.
Sometimes I
That's
want
how you know
little
it's from a
sponge
real
in my life.
potato. Not okay, but this is a gross story, but I think it's hilarious. So growing up, I don't think they have them here. Maybe they do. I've never experienced it, but they have. I grew up in like Podunk town.
That sounds like a city or a town that like hosts a horror villain.
You know what?
Like there's a bad guy that lives there.
Everyone knows there's the crazy
and not just
hobo.
like a criminal,
No,
but
all
like
we have are
a
meth-
bad like Jason
Yeah.
style bad guy.
Probably because it's all
Or-
it's just meth labs, and
Or the paranormal.
I
there's a
did
lot
live
of
in
that. There is a
Florida.
lot of that. I'm not even joking.
Not surprised.
We need to have a conversation, a paranormal popcorn talk, because I've got so many stories. Anyway, but so this Burger King. Oh, so they have these little processing plants, which I guess are like sewage processing plants.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do they have them here?
They have them on the East Coast. I know what you're
Okay,
talking about.
Like
it's an
most
East
places.
Coast thing. I've never. Anyway, it's disgusting. You can smell it from miles away.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. You get on I-95, you smell them.
And so there was a Burger King though, literally situated right in front of one. Like if you were standing at the Burger King, you could look to your right and see the like people used to just call it the shit house. So you can just see the shit house. Anyway, so this Burger King though was literally right next to it, and so their food smelled like
Oh.
shit house. It was horrible. I couldn't eat there. I could not eat there. The one time I did choose to go to that location and eat there, I got violently sick. Violently sick. Fun facts.
It's got to be like in the air or something that affects it.
It
shit.
literally,
The
yeah.
shit particles.
It's literally
Mhm.
what it was.
Has anyone ever been to a Hardee's? Is those? Are
Yeah.
Carl's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Carl's
Carl's
Jr.,
Jr.
yeah.
Hardee's.
I
Double
remember they
bacon
had
Western
good fries.
cheese.
There's actually a place right down the road that I just discovered called Project Polo. It's a vegan chicken place.
Does it have 2 L's or 1?
I don't remember. I think it's.
If it's
I
2,
think,
it's Pollo.
I think it's Pollo. I don't know. I am white.
I was just thinking like Project Polo, like they all wear like polo shirts.
Or like if you have
and
to
like
get an
you
order.
only play the game.
It's only
Yeah.
white businessmen
Oh, yeah.
allowed. You gotta have a polo to get in.
Yep.
But,
It's a fast food with a dress code.
But anyway, Project Pollo has great fries.
Good to know.
If you're ever wanting a hanker for fries in your
Hankering for
dragon's
fries.
lair, get them
Ooh.
fries.
I
Skip the shake. What is right there? Shake Shack. What is that?
Shake Shack.
Not Shake Shack, but the other one.
Steak and Shake.
No, it's like the whitey like
I have another
yuppie
story.
one. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Shake Shack, but it's the.
Oh, are you
it's like-
talking about the
I
one
mean-
from California? Everyone's always like, "Yay, there's a blank opening up." What's it
In and
called?
Out.
Not
In
even-
and Out.
No, it's more
No,
yuppie.
because that shit's on everything.
It doesn't matter, but don't go there. That's all I'm
I think
saying.
I've only been to one Shake Shack ever, or a Shake Shack once, so I don't remember it.
So I remember the first time I was probably in middle school, and we were passing. And I'm from Ohio. In Ohio, they have a place called Steak and Lube.
What?
It's called? It's a diner, like a burger place.
And
but
you
it's
can
called,
also get your oil changed or something.
It's called Steak and Lube.
Hop
and I
Dotty.
remember
Hop Dotty.
Hop
Oh,
Dotty.
man.
Yeah.
Steak
I
and lube,
remember-
that's
That's
where
that's
you
like
I
go to
asked-
fuck.
I asked my dad. I
we
was
can
like,
get back to that.
I didn't know what lube was. So I was like, Dad, what's lube?
Oh,
And I remember watching his expression as he was like trying to think about how to word this, and he explained what it was. He didn't explain the sexual lube. He just explained it's like short for lubricant. It's just something that aids in the process of blah blah. My dad's a science guy, so he gave me like a science explanation.
Is
But
his name Bill? Please let your dad name
No.
Bill. Oh man.
Bill. What's his name?
Scott.
Scott.
Anyway, so yeah, but then once he started explaining it, I realized why he was pausing. Or initially, I was like, oh my god, I think there's like a sexual innuendo here that he's really trying to avoid. I could like sense his discomfort, and ever since then, unfortunately, that word is associated with my dad now.
Steak and lube.
I'm not okay with it.
Oh, man. Steak and lube.
Horrible name.
Was
The style of the diner was kind of like
50s
50s, you know,
college.
oil
makes a lot more
change.
sense.
Yeah, it definitely, that's what it was aimed at.
But it's not. That's where you go to fuck. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that.
You don't get your oil change there. It's just like a sex shop, like a
Yeah.
German sex shop. Not even, or what is it from Euro Trip where he goes in the room and it's like the gimp suit and all that.
Oh yeah.
I can never remember what that secret word was though.
Were we supposed to talk about Hop Dotty? Should we go back to that?
Nope.
Okay.
I just
think
wanted
it's-
to tell you about steak
I
and
was like
lube.
thinking about it and was like, wait, that's kind of niche for Austin.
yeah.
It's
It
like,
is,
isn't
yeah.
it
Well,
Austin
so is-
only?
So is Pete Harold's.
Patrick.
Patrick
So it's
Terrell.
Project Pollo.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I just
But we do live here.
I haven't been to a Steak Shack, so I didn't know
Oh.
it was like a Hop Dotties.
Hop Dotty.
Shake Shack.
They actually have
You mean
top
Shake
tier
Shack.
fries.
Hop
Also.
Dotty?
Dotty?
Yeah.
Too
The-
white for me.
Anything that has aioli on the menu, I'm
Mhm.
getting it. That's the white
If a
in
word
me.
has more vowels and consonants, it's probably delicious.
It's getting ordered 100%.
What is your opinion on steak fries?
Too much potato.
You mean
Oh.
you
If
mean like
I
the
wanted
crinkly
a potato, I
ones?
would have got
No,
no.
steak
It's
fries
like
with
the
gravy.
thick ones.
That's the
Oh, like the thick, like they just
Northeast.
look like
See,
little
I can say that like
rectangles?
in like a good like a
you dip them in the gravy.
like
This is
a
a northeastern
poutine,
thing.
a poutine like a steak fries
I
and
don't-
poutine would be bomb.
I don't know what poutine is.
Oh,
It's just
that's
gravy
a
with cheese
cheese
curds.
Oh.
curds.
That sounds fucking gross.
I don't love it personally. I'm like, maybe it's an acquired taste.
Gravy
I just haven't
and
acquired it.
Once again,
cheese
I am a
curd.
trash. So
What is a cheese
I understand why
curd?
people like it. I just
it's just like
personally,
a chunk of cheese.
a cheese curd is just like a little ball of like, it's
Is it
just a
curdled
natural
cheese?
No, it's just like instead of like string cheese or cubed cheese, it's just like in a little
It's like if you
ball
ripped out,
form.
like crumbled it, like cheese
Yeah, it's like
crumbles,
crumbles.
but thick.
I'm gonna puke.
Well, it does sound gross. Have you guys ever heard of a God, what are they called? Pittsburgh salad?
That sounds like something you get
Nope.
at the Steak and Lube.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's what you order. Okay, no.
Is it like a salad with gravy on it?
Is it like a cheesesteak in a salad?
No. It's just a regular
That's
salad.
not bad. Not bad thinking about that.
It's a regular salad. You do get like strips of steak and put them on the salad. And then you get French fries, like the crinkly cut French fries, and you put them on top. And then you put your dressing. Ranch, whatever. It's better with ranch.
Is this something your family made up?
No, this is just literally, it is a Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh?
thing. My family's from Pittsburgh. So it's
Ah.
called a Pittsburgh salad. It's
You were from
fucking
everywhere.
delicious.
Pittsburgh, Ohio, North
I know.
Carolina.
Ohio, not much
I
from
had a
Pittsburgh.
very
In North
nomadic
Carolina.
life, that's for sure.
May have lived more
Um,
places than I have.
I have been almost in every state, honestly, and yeah, I've been quite a few places.
Have you
Anyway,
ever fought a homeless person?
no,
Well, you haven't been everywhere then.
I've had homeless people throw stuff at me. Does that count?
I had a homeless person call me a sorry sack of shit because I didn't give him any money.
Yeah, they're pretty aggressive out here.
There's like if you ever go near Arboretum, that underpass, there's like a homeless like barter town. There's like a homeless bike shop with all these bike parts, and all the homeless people bring their bikes to this guy and he fixes them.
That's pretty
Aw,
awesome.
Yeah, I love
And then
that.
there's like they have all their stuff sitting out in front of their tents, like it's like barter town from Mad Max.
That's pretty cool.
It's
Like,
ver-
I mean,
it's cool.
circumstantial.
Yeah, it's
not,
pretty
but
cool, and I wish I could get pictures of it, but every time I drive by there, it's like shady as fuck.
It's just
but,
pretty shitty that they put in that bill, though.
Yeah,
We don't
Yeah.
get political, though.
yeah, we
Not
don't
this
wanna,
early in our lives. In
Yeah.
our podcasting lives.
yeah, but they don't really bother me. It's just interesting. I would just like, if I wasn't wanting to get the smell on me, I would stop and take pictures and not maybe get something thrown at me. Goddamn hobos. That was a short that I wrote. It was about
Go on.
there was a virus that is
Intrigued.
turning the homeless community into zombies, but nobody notices because it's homeless people and no one pays
Aw.
attention to them. And it's called
Aw.
goddamn hobos because they always harass people for money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Man, a super political statement from a short.
yeah,
I mean, I feel like that's what most shorts are.
yeah,
Or something like, I mean, just basic statements.
Mhm.
yeah. Popcorn talk.
Popcorn
Ooh,
talk.
way to
I
end
love
it.
how we degened so hard
Yeah.
talking about me coughing up a lung in my first restaurant.
To dead homeless people.
Well, it started with movies.
But
It
it
did.
did. We got off to a right
I
good
feel,
start.
well, to bring full circle, there is a homeless person in Mulholland Drive. Like
Oh,
that jump
yeah.
scare.
Yeah, and she's really gross.
Oh, that's not a. Oh, I
Or like that,
didn't
like,
think that
Looks
person.
like a demon.
Energy
Yeah, but
thing.
I thought that was like supposed
the-
to be like that's literally the representation of like sin or hell.
Well,
or
wasn't that
something.
scene
Holding
like every
Pandora's
time
box.
I go this way?
Yeah, that's the scene she was talking about. But
Yeah,
in
behind the brick wall.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. In the real world, the homeless person is there, and that's where the tiny people run out of her bag.
Oh, the old people from the very beginning.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's been a minute since I've seen this
yeah.
movie, so I'm trying to
she's-
remember all
She's
this.
a real homeless person that is extra grody.
I didn't
Yeah, like
think that
gross,
person.
like
I
black
didn't think
skin
that
and all
person
that.
was real.
I think she was, and that's why she was in there because
Well-
she was so grody, and she
But,
put her
like,
in there
where
as this
does-
horrible thing.
But
Didn't it,
where
like,
was
cut?
she?
Like before, no, like he faints and it cuts before we see.
Right, but
any
she's
other
again
reaction?
later in the movie.
She's again later. Whenever
Okay.
Diane hires the hitman.
I think
and
she
he-
just sees the homeless person, and she's like, she's gross, and she's so gross that she made some guy faint. That's what I took that.
As far, okay, so as far as I can remember, there was never a scene where I don't consider them a homeless person. To me, it was more like that is like evil represented, or like Pandora's box type situation. It's just supposed to be like representing something. I don't remember a scene where that was ever just displayed as a homeless person.
Yeah, she's sitting on the side of the road with
When?
like trinkets and stuff. Later in the movie, and then there's a bag on the ground. And these small
yeah,
tiny
no,
people run out.
that that is in direct correlation to whenever she hires the hitman, and he's like, as soon as you hand over that money, this is a done deal. And then she hands over the money. He's like, okay, you're gonna find the key where I told you you'll find it. And then the camera travels all the way around the alley to the woman. I think maybe it's a man. I can't tell. And then he's holding
No, the box is in her bag.
Yeah, I know, but the box, that's what the key is connected to. It like that represents the murder. It's like Pandora's box.
I guess. I still think it's a homeless person that's so gross that she's like, it's so gross and makes this guy faint.
Wasn't the?
But you have to remember, the guy that faints is a representation of her guilt because he was a witness in the real experience.
I think she noticed him because he was staring at her.
But
So
why
she
was he
put
staring
him in
at
his
her?
fantasy,
Okay.
and that's why he's put. It's like a dream. Whenever there's no reason, there's no like deep reason why they're
If
there.
I would agree to that if there wasn't so much emphasis on that guy's scene where he's talking about he's having this horrible dream. He doesn't ever want to see the face again. The guy was at the register looking scared. Like there's all of this emotion tied to the scene with that random guy that's at the register in real life. I think that, like you said, that was a witness to her hiring a hitman. I think that represents her guilt for for trying to kill Camilla.
She does kill her, doesn't she? Because the blue key is on the table.
The blue key is on the table,
But he is a bumbling hitman.
but he is a bumbling
But
hitman.
he may have killed Camilla and the director and the director's wife and Billy Ray Cyrus.
I forgot about Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, he
That's
was in that movie.
Yeah, and he's like, you shouldn't talk to a lady. He's like so
No,
cordial with them.
don't treat. He just finds out that his wife's cheating on him. He's like, so he starts trying to choke out his wife, and and Billy Ray Cyrus is like, he's like, that's no way to treat your wife, no matter what she's done. And I'm like, true,
But Billy Ray
true,
Cyrus
true.
the character is so cordial the whole
Yeah.
time. He's not like, oh, come on, man. It's cool. Just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's going to happen. And he's like, hey, he's got a right to be mad about this. I just
Yeah.
love the weirdness.
So I
of the
looked
character.
up the cast, and Bonnie Aarons is credited as Bum,
Oh.
which I'm assuming is what we're talking
Yeah.
about. She's also the actress who plays the nun.
Yeah,
really?
she does.
Movies.
She does. She's got a very distinct face shape and nose.
So confirmed it
Mhm.
is a homeless person.
It looks like
Okay.
she also plays Nosferatu.
You're right.
Oh.
I still don't think they're supposed to represent that.
Well, they can be whatever they want to be.
Well, it's just
It's your
just
interpretation
whatever
of the
you,
movie.
That's true.
name the character. That's all the casting is. Because like in Tenet, his main character John Washington, Denzel's son, but
Washington with
What
an
the hell are
E.
we talking about?
his, in Tenet.
Oh,
So like character names, like his character name is never explicitly said, but he's credited as the protagonist.
that movie has really bad editing.
Editing,
Tenet, yeah. There's two scenes that are like, whoa, this is really bad.
go on.
I don't know if you remember, but it's a scene where he's talking. It's 2 times talking to women. One where he's on like the
Yeah, it's
cliff.
John David Washington.
There's like that scene where he's talking on the cliff to the woman in secret.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a scene where he's walking next to another woman and they're talking, and the editing in it is so weird and janky.
I don't think I remembered it enough.
Oh,
Or
and he's
did-
also not a great actor. Just saying.
Well,
That movie wasn't good. That's also what I'm saying.
I
we
loved it.
can't all
2
have
thumbs down.
4 layers of acting in their movie.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that movie. Did you see the Black Klansman?
I have not. Is it good?
He was super good in that role.
Well, he wasn't good at Tenet. So I might watch Black Klansman. I just don't
And
like...
Adam Driver plays it too.
Oh,
He kills that role.
I'm just not super into like racially political movies.
That one's based on a true story.
Yeah, but it's still about racial politics, right?
It's
No.
about
It's about a Klansman being the police force or something, right?
no, it's about him, John Washington's character, and I can't remember the character's name and the actual person's name, but he infiltrates the KKK.
Oh, okay. I was
I
just sure if
think
it was like a civil rights movie.
You
or
might be thinking of
something. Am I thinking
was
of
it Keith
Jude and the Black
Stanfield?
Messiah?
Yes, Jude and the Black Messiah.
Okay.
Which is also really good, but then you look at the other one that Keith is in. Sorry for bothering you.
Yeah, that movie is more silly than anything. I put that
that's
in
also
Wayne's Brothers.
That's also super
Territory.
political.
It is, but it's done Wayne's Brothers style, where it's so off the wall and crazy, and it wasn't marketed that way. It was
Well, it
actually
wasn't even until like the last half of it where it was like that.
I don't know. My brain is kind of fried. I'm thinking about what the hell that movie's about.
I don't know. Obviously, I haven't seen it.
There's horse people.
Yeah, there's
Spoiler.
horse people.
Mm.
Yeah, isn't it like white people turning the poor people and the horse people?
Yeah.
It's it's bonkers.
It's written by Boots Riley, right?
Yeah,
Who's a super political activist.
So who are the horse people?
poor people.
Well, in the whole thing, it was like poor people and black people.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And so that was like a whole political statement. Like, you had to put on a white voice if you wanted to succeed.
Mm.
But it was marketed to be like a weird, surreal comedy. But it's not
I don't even
that
know if
at
it's
all.
surreal.
Well,
It was just
just
supposed to be a comedy.
I'm talking about the trailers for it. Was all like breaking like
Mhm.
dimensional walls and shit.
Yeah.
But it definitely is not the movie that it was marketed as. It's
Hmm.
actually good.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
super good.
Yeah.
The marketing does it injustice.
And we actually got
I'm
to
sure it's
talk to
on
the
purpose.
marketing guy
Yeah,
in the class. Yeah.
That's cool.
Or the producer.
Yeah, the producer.
He was the only producer that like started and ended with the movie,
Mhm.
or was there the whole time.
This is a good episode. This is a
Yeah.
good popcorn
Good
talks.
Premiere popcorn talk.
Yep, the Popcorn Pop premiere.
Plosives.
Make sure you
Popcorn.
check out our socials.
YouTube
and
and Instagram and Facebook. You just look up TV Party Time or TV Party Time Pod. We'll get you to all of them.
There you go.
And let us know if you liked Popcorn Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give us some comments on what you think about weird movies and your top tier fry. And
And if you have a more embarrassing story to top from my steak and lube situation with my dad.